Dr. Benjamin Smith in his cluttered, dimly lit laboratory. He's frantically scribbling equations on a chalkboard. There's a pulsing machine in the corner. Meet Dr. Benjamin Smith, a brilliant physicist who's on the verge of completing his life's work, the world's first functional time machine. Dr. Smith adjusts the settings on the machine, and it begins to hum and glow. Dr. Smith dons protective gear and enters the time machine. He hesitates for a moment, then presses a button. The machine vibrates violently, and a blinding light engulfs the room. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, Dr. Smith takes his first leap into the past. Dr. Smith emerges in the past, witnessing a historical event. He decides to make a small change, thinking it will have no consequences. Dr. Smith watches history unfold before his eyes, but the temptation to make a small change becomes irresistible. Dr. Smith intervenes subtly, altering the course of the event. He returns to his present time, expecting everything to be improved. However, he is shocked by the chaos and devastation he finds. Dr. Smith returns to his time, expecting a better world, but what he finds is a nightmare. Dr. Smith frantically tries to undo his previous actions, repeatedly traveling back in time to correct his mistakes. Each time, things get worse. Desperate to fix his world, Dr. Smith embarks on a series of time travel journeys, but each attempt only makes things worse. Dr. Smith, exhausted and defeated, returns to the present. He realizes that he must make a painful decision to set things right. Faced with the consequences of his actions, Dr. Smith must make the most difficult decision of his life. Dr. Smith decides to undo all his time travel changes, even if it means erasing his own achievements. In a final act of selflessness, Dr. Smith chooses to undo all his time travel alterations, even if it means sacrificing his own achievements. Dr. Smith resetting the time machine and returning to the original timeline. Dr. Benjamin Smith learned that altering history, even with the best intentions, can have dire consequences. Sometimes it's better to leave the past untouched. Dr. Smith walks away from his time machine, leaving it behind.